Alright, countdown from 3. Alright, on 1. Or on go. On go. 3, 2, 1, go. Wow, I get applause before my run even starts. So, this game is Jack Bros for the Virtual Boy, if you didn't already know that. It's quite a simple game mechanically. You go through each floor, you gotta pick up all the keys, and you have to make it down to the next floor. Each level is composed of a number of floors, and at the end of each floor, there's a boss. So, there's also a good number of items. I just picked one up. This item is the orb. The orb gives you 3 free hits. It is an incredibly useful item. And I'll explain the other items as I get them. So, this boss is pretty free one cycle. I just have to make sure to move, and there we go. So, that's area 1. So, something worth noting right now is that you noticed at the beginning I had a choice of 3 characters. Jack Ripper, or in the English version, Jack Skeleton. Which, you know, Nightmare Before Christmas and all. Is the only one who doesn't have a projectile attack, but his knife does a lot more damage than anyone else's, and he also has a higher walk speed. And there's one other reason he's really good, which I'll explain when it becomes relevant. You'll notice that clock item I just picked up. That's actually health. You may notice that timer in the top left. That is health count. That is my health, which is also time. So that's an invincibility potion. It makes me invincible and makes me go very fast. Unfortunately, the enemy movement is random, as our item drops, so that was actually kind of bad luck there, with the way that floor played out. So, push rock. Anyway, here's time for boss number 2. Ideally, for best luck, you want orbs here, but I don't have orbs. So this boss is pretty easy nonetheless. The only thing to be aware of is to make sure not to get pushed back by that. And done. The turtles are for technical difficulties. That was me responding to something that no one can hear, so I should probably avoid that. So, these things are called paradises for whatever reason. They just, like, come towards you. Little spikes. One of 2 types of spike traps in this game. So, decent luck on that floor then. So we're about to meet the wizard enemies. The game seems to think that wizards are a lot more of a threat than they are. They kind of just shoot a projectile that you have a lot of time to avoid that does 5 damage. They do become very annoying later on, but... well, potentially, but I'll get into that when it's relevant. So, this enemy right here, oh, well, I messed that up. Ooh, I got a invincibility potion that'll save a little time. And some orbs, that's very good. Those enemies with the shields, you can't hit them from the front, but you can trick them at corners. If you hit them from a corner, they'll die. So you just bring them to a corner. You may notice these little ghost enemies running around. Those are poltergeists. They always drop 50 health, and they always run away from you. And you're supposed to trap them in dead ends. I'm actually gonna kill these for safety, because marathon. Just in case. I didn't really need them, but, you know. You're supposed to have to chase them into dead ends, but like a lot of things, you can trick them at corners and not have to chase them all the way around. So coming up, we have boss number 3, Vampire. Vampire is one of the most annoying bosses in the run. Having orbs here is actually a pretty big deal, because it lets me actually just stand and attack Vampire. So Vampire summons a bunch of bats that are practically... they're not undodgeable, but it would take a long time to dodge them, so... you know, I'd have to run away, and I only get so much time to hit Vampire. Fortunately, because of orbs, I can kind of stand here and just, you know, do a bunch of damage to Vampire just immediately. Yeah, that was a pretty good Vampire, honestly. That boss fight can be very annoying, because the teleports are random, and the bats kind of slow you down a lot. So this floor has a bit of a gimmick in that it has like a dozen exits, and each exit leads to a different spot on the next floor. That was actually slightly incorrect. And the gimmick here is you gotta pick up all the keys and then you have to choose your exit. And you're supposed to be able to tell by looking down, but I just, you know... given that this is a speedrun and all, I kind of know which one to take. So this is the best exit right here. So something you'll notice is even when I don't need to, I always attack on every floor. And that's actually, the game rewards you with 20 extra health if you manage to do that. There's a puzzle on this floor that you can skip if you have the right resources. I don't, so we have to do the puzzle. If I had orbs, I could just walk through this, or if I had an excess of health, I could do that as well, but because I don't, I just have to do it normally. Get that bonus health. But yeah, the game rewards you if you manage to do a floor without ever attacking. It gives you 20 health, but it plays a cutscene to give you that 20 health, so... there's 2 ways to get those bonuses. One is by doing that, and one is by killing too many enemies too fast on a floor, which sometimes is unavoidable, because it would be faster otherwise. But sometimes you deliberately want to slow down to make sure that doesn't happen. That's mostly a problem on hard mode, not normal. So that's not super relevant, but we will see it pop up a couple times because of... there's... Yeah, so, yeah, skip puzzle there. Got hit. It's RNG if you'll get hit there or not, because it's relevant to the way that thing moves, but... either way, it's not worth going out of your way to do. So I got orbs here, which is really good, because there's another puzzle that's worth skipping down here. One way or another. And I actually have, you know, because I have orbs, I can skip the puzzle without consequences. So, this boss has a weak point, just stab in the eye. Because I have so much health, I can actually afford to just... Oh, whoops, that was a mistake. I wasn't supposed to get hit by that. because I have so much health, I can luckily just stand here and tank this boss. And done. That was, that boss can be very annoying if you don't have a lot of health. So, I got lucky there. I've honestly, because of the random drops, there is quite a bit of RNG in this run, and I've actually been pretty lucky up to this point. So... simple floor. Get the keys, move forward. So because that thing's on the right, I'm gonna go to the, or on the left, I'm gonna go to the right rather. So I think it's, so I've actually been fortunate enough not to have to use any of these yet, but you'll notice that on the bottom left I have a number of stars and I've been picking stars up. Those are for jack attacks, which basically are a screen clear that I use in certain points. They also do a set amount of damage to bosses. Go ahead. So there's a puzzle that's really slow to skip here. You're supposed to push that rock all the way down and all the way back up, or slow to do. So, regardless of circumstance, you skip that puzzle. There's some like health you can pick up there, and a jack star if you need them. I don't. So you're supposed to bait these out and walk through. Like I won't be able to dodge the last one, but that would be very slow to do. So I'm just gonna walk in a straight line. So here I'm gonna get hit by this slime on purpose, and I want to walk in a straight line here. I'm gonna pick up that safety health. So the reason I got hit by that slime is because the paradises do 20 damage. So there's an enemy on this, and the slime only does 5. So there's an enemy on this floor called the Cyclops. We're never gonna actually see any Cyclops, because I'm gonna do this every time one pops up. And the reason I don't want any Cyclops existing ever is because they have an attack that just shakes the floor and leaves you stuck in place. And that wastes a lot of time just standing still and doing nothing. So we're never actually going to see any Cyclops. So these wizards didn't exactly spawn in very friendly locations. This angel literally can't hit you if you just keep your knife forward like that. It usually doesn't anyway. See, I got hit by a wizard, but the game really overestimates the threat level of those things. You'll notice what happened there. Sometimes it won't actually let you drop down to the next floor, which is a little annoying. I'm not sure what causes it, but if it happens, you have to just move away. So I have a bunch of health here, so I can afford to just do this. Instead of waiting for the thing to actually move. So this floor is pick up keys. We got some poltergeists, which I don't really need per se, but some of them wind up being in the way anyway. I actually have a lot of health, and the upcoming boss is surprisingly easy, honestly. So here's a little fun fact here. So this teleporter that brings you over here, it gives you enough iframes that you can just walk to the next one without having to worry about anything. This is one of those floors where I need to be a little careful. If I kill these goblins too fast, I'll get the special time bonus, but I don't want to waste too much time. Okay, well, I wound up doing it too fast. Not a big deal. So hey, guess what's on this floor? So if you just walk in a straight line there, you'll actually always make the cycle to never get hit by those jack traps, which is what they call the other type of spike trap. So this is another puzzle floor that you're supposed to lure those things down and then trap them in a corner. But that would be very slow, and also most of the time they don't even go to the right spots to hit you anyway. Alright, so here we come on our 5th boss. This boss is pretty easy. This boss is always able to be hit. Only has 2 attacks. And I have a lot of health, so I don't even care. That flame attack can be unblockable. If you're not careful, it can trap you in a corner, which I'm not going to be careful because I have more than enough health. This attack just pushes you back. It's just free license to wail on the boss all you like. It has a lot of health, but other than that, it's dead. So we're up to our final level here. So this is Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is much harder than the rest of the game, casually. If you play this casually, which I strongly recommend, this game is... I know it's on the Virtual Boy, but this game is very good. But yeah, this is where you're probably going to wind up to start really getting stuck. So, there's a block pushing puzzle here, and here's where the wizards can actually get annoying. Fortunately, it didn't happen, but... Whoops, I pressed up on the control stick by mistake there. It's... I think it's kind of my fault. Oh yeah, we're behind schedule, by the way. Is what I said. So... I'm gonna walk in a straight line here. I'm doing pretty well in health. There's some poltergeists you can kill if you need to. I don't. You almost never do at this point. So I got orbs there, which is actually, this is a really good place to get orbs. Because there's a puzzle coming up that you're probably going to take some hits on. It's a very slow puzzle to do normally, so getting orbs here is actually really, really good, because it means that I don't have to worry about it. I will actually statistically lose all 3 of these orbs, because this puzzle tends to hit you a lot, but nope, that went pretty well. Yeah, I lost all 3 orbs, but I didn't have to take any hits there. Oh, and I got new orbs. I'm getting really good luck this run. So there is a puzzle here. I could skip it, but it's honestly not worth skipping, just because these things have a very high drop rate for good things. So it's usually just worth killing all of them. Maybe if I was maxed out on literally everything, I would skip the puzzle, but it's really not worth it. So, yep. So hey, guess what's on this floor? Nothing anymore. Ooh, wow. They both drop 40 health. I don't think I'll actually make it to that second 40 health before it disappears, but... Oh, it was a 10 health anyway. Oh, well, I got it. Take a hit there. Not worth waiting out the cycle when I have orbs. I have orbs here, which means that I can skip most of this puzzle floor without consequence. Orbs are pretty much the best luck you can get. You would think it's those invincibility potions that make you move very fast, but orbs tend to be more versatile. And unless you get those things in very specific spots, they wind up not being all that good. Well, that's not true. They just wind up being not as good as orbs. So I did spend a lot of health because I had it, which means that I will have to do the floor that I call the Ghost Hunt. Ooh, more orbs. This run is so, yep, more of these. I kinda did that a little wrong, so I ended up losing all those orbs. So, I'm probably... given that this is a marathon run, I actually would feel comfortable with the resources I have skipping the Ghost Hunt here, but I'm gonna do part of it because marathon. Because 300 health is what I want here when I don't have, when I have 9 Jack Stars, but because it's a marathon, I'll get some... And that is one of the best places you can get one of those. That is one of the best places in the entire game to get an invincibility potion. I can skip this entire floor. Whoops. So normally I would get some safety health up there, but honestly, even in a marathon, I don't really need it. So this is the last non-boss floor. So it's just a matter of knowing which order to take these in. So it's down, then left, then up, then right. Fun fact, you can remember it pretty easily by the side that's more of a pain to get to. Because it's always the one the key that's there already, the opposite side. Alright, so you should get ready on time, by the way, because it's not going to be immediate, but I'll say when. So we're up to our final boss here. Time's on the level stage cleared screen afterwards. Okay. So that's our first form. This boss actually has 2 phases. So it's faster to not use Jack Stars here, but that being said, it's not fast enough to, if you have to be dodging attacks, it's faster. The fastest is to just stand here. I am letting these paradises pass me by. So I'll do that to clear out those little ones. This is actually Beelzebub. Or, what's the fly one? Whichever the fly, like Satan is. Alright, time coming up very soon. And time. What'd I get? That's not bad at all, honestly. Alright, yeah, I got a lot of good luck here. Alright, well, that's Jack Bros. Alright, so that's it for Jack Bros.